Oh yeah, we're here, baby. Except unless you're not, then you didn't hear any of this.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. Good-hearted, but I'm just getting started. My eyes on the target, nah. You're the better ones, you get on Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
All right, we're here, boys. Let's turn this music down a little bit. Wait, now I can't hear the music at all. Wait, is that intended? Oh, yeah, that's because I made it. Hold on. Wait, is that intended? Oh, yeah, that's because I made it. Hold on. Ah, I hear myself like 7 times. Hold on. Turn down the speakers a little bit more, and that's probably fine. I'm not gonna touch it again. Alright. Let's go. Alright. Alright, let's put our music tab in a whole different one. Alright, so we got a few games that we're gonna do today. We're gonna update a few of our decks. And obviously we're gonna spectate some Talishar games. Sorry about the mic bump. I will probably be live recording 2 videos that will be on one will be on the channel, one will be on the Patreon/Matify. So if you guys want to see a video live and kind of get it for free, right? You get to stick around for that. Let's see what do I want to do first. Do I want to do the resources video? Yeah, let's do the resources. Let's get the resources video done. So we can. Oh crap! I didn't mean to press that. I'm trolling. Hold on, something's about to pop up. Give me like 2 seconds. Oh man, I really wish I found my pop filter. My mic does not sound bueno. The mic is not bueno. Oh, yep, there it is. Copilot, get off my screen. Alright. So let's go ahead and get paint out. Did I click record? I clicked record. Let's go. We're doing this live, baby. Alright, so let's use Smite Season 11 map. Let's see, because I used League of Legends last time. See if we have a good thing on the map. May not. I might have to use it again because they have more HD ones. This is. It'll probably do. It'll probably do. Let's see. We go this, and I'm gonna come here. Let's copy image and paste. Let's see if I can push out to there and it not look. Oh, it looks kind of awful, but you know what? We're cooking. All right. So, what today's lesson thing's gonna be on is on trading and resources, and we can define that in at least in the context that we're talking about. Is people will have an apple, right? Let's just say an apple. You have an orange, apple, orange. You trade. You have orange. They have an apple. That's trading, like in a more business sense. But trading in like a MOBA sense, or even a card game sense, in the context that we're going to be talking about today, is you're here. You're this mid laner. Hi, you're the mid laner here, and your opponent obviously here. They're a little bit bigger than you. Don't ask why. So how most MOBAs work, at least as a mid laner, is you're going to be clearing a wave, and then you're going to be doing a camp. Not this camp, but like, just hear me out. You're going to be doing a wave, camp, wave, camp. And then you'll probably back if there's nothing up. But then you'll do wave, you'll come to this camp, wave, from this camp. And obviously, both people will be doing this. Things are going to be traded back and forth. But what realistically is happening is there's a certain flow going on. And the flow can't really be disrupted. Why? Well, let's say you're this mid laner again. If anybody wants to disrupt your flow, what do they have to do? Well, they have to come gank you. They have to come from one of these lanes of the jungle and try to hit you, right? Well, you have this tower. You have this tower of safety. They can't just walk into the tower. They will die because the tower will hit them. So, what's the relevance of that? Well, the easy way to break this up, the easy way to stop this, you destroy this tower. So now you don't have the safety of this. You have lost this resource. This resource is safety. But what if I told you that this was a good thing? What if I told you someone actually winning a trade was a good thing? That'd sound insane, wouldn't it? Well, let's talk about what happens once they destroy this. There's gonna be two things. Obviously, you, your safety now is back here. So before in the jungle, let's use these routes. Again, we're gonna put you as pink now. You're here, and this is gone. But when you were here, what real gank ways? What ways could they really get to you? Well, obviously they could come straight forward. They could come this backside of this rock here, backside of this rock here. Obviously, technically, this is a thing, but not really. They could get cheeky and try to come under. It's a little bit risky because of how big this rock is. It's a very long route to get there. And once you know they're going to start doing stuff like this, you're going to start warding like here, and you can start seeing them. And same thing here. They can technically come under. So yeah, look, these are the access points they have. Realistically, it's just these three because these two are kind of cringe, and you can easily get collapsed upon if you do this. But now what happens whenever this tower is gone? You have all of these routes because you know you might be in one lane, but now they have this route. They have this. They can even come under, come through your Phoenix. Now, obviously, if someone's doing at this point, if someone's doing this, they're probably strong enough to be able to do something like this. But now there's so many more avenues that are opened up. So you're in some ways you are now more exposed. It is somewhat easier to take you out now, and the same was like somewhat true for the other lanes, but mostly mid lane because how laning works in MOBAs is, and it's so much just as the middle of the map controls everything because obviously it can pivot to either side. Obviously, if you're over here, you can only go this direction. If you're here, you can only really go this direction. Where if you're in the middle, you can go anywhere in this middle part. You can go directly to any of the other lanes. You control the most of the map as the mid laner or the jungler. So I talked about how bad this is to lose this, but what if I told you it could be even worse for your opponent? So yet again, you're here. This is you. This is gone. We had all those flank opportunities, right? But here's the issue. If you're someone that understands wave manipulation and how to control where the waves are, you know, waves spawn every interval, right? And there's usually going to be 6, and it takes X amount of time to clear them. And if you don't touch them, they're going to meet in the middle, and they're going to hit each other every now and then, right? But what is stopping you as this pink player from when the minions meet here, just last hitting? Not doing the usual song and dance. Usual song and dance is wave, camp, wave, camp, wave, camp. Well, what if you just go, cool, I'm just going to sit here and let the minion just die. I'll only hit the last hits. And I'll do this like if it's up, and I'll go with people if like these are up, right? I'll maybe split this. But like I'm not moving past here. I have no reason to. I will die if I move past here. So now we took this negative, and now let's look at the enemy team. If you're holding the wave here, look how far they now have to walk up to touch this wave. Where normally they'd have to walk up here and kill the wave. Now they have to walk up much further. Well, look what's right here. Your whole entire side of the map is here. This is a very dangerous spot for the team in the yellow to be at. Because I can easily collapse upon you. If I'm doing my speed buff, like if I'm right here, bro, it doesn't take a long time for me just to go here, where it would have taken me, because I would have to go like this, to here. Bro, I do my camp, boom, I'm right here. If other team tries to contest this. Same thing. Instead of having to go like this, do all these loops to try to get here, boom, I'm right there. Same thing. This liner's over here. Boom, they come straight there instead of having to go, try to do some weird flank angle. Boom, I'm there. Same thing here. Well, obviously this liner will probably rotate a little bit less. But same thing here. Let's say your tier 1's still up. Boom, you just have to travel straight across. You don't have to go, let me take the safe route in case there's someone there. Take the safe route. Oh, let's get here now. Look how long that is versus boom, straight. It's even better if your tower's down too, because then you can just turtle. Dude, Phoenixes? Dude, doing the same thing on Phoenixes. What? Oh, there we go. Let's say all of these are down. You just got absolutely cooked, right? And you'll see where this is coming in flesh and blood in a moment. You'll start to see it. Some of you might already see it. Let's say all of these are down and you're just holding here. Well, now your opponent has to be here. They have to be right here to touch the wave. Because all you're going to do is just sit here and let things die. You have no reason to move up because they have control of everything else. But this gives you time. This puts your opponent in a bad spot if they would continue to flow. Where it looks like there's inaction going on, there's action. Your opponent, by taking advantage, put themselves at a disadvantage. Okay? Hopefully all of this made sense. So now, let's go into what this means in a game of Flesh and Blood. Just delete this. Okay. So now, obviously, you guys know about Wizard and Kano. Let's start with a Kano example. I'm Kano. And you're, I don't know, Dory. And let's just say you're running, and you're like the dual-winning axe Dory. I don't know. And you have in your kit AB2, just because, I don't know. You really need your chest, and actually, no, those would be on AB3, because I would say there's no reason they would. No, we can do AB2 because like the arm is so reasonable actually in the Kano. So you can do. So they're gonna have headpiece AB and legs AB. So their chest and legs are gonna be normal. So as this Kano player, let's talk about what advantage you could just take. This door opponent taps out. You don't have full combo, but let's say you have like a double lessons line, right? So you have like lessons, blue, 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 and you have all of your equipment here. You have rags, tunic, metacarpus node, and storm striders, and crucible. Let's say you fire off a double lessons line, so you do Kano Kano, Kano Kano, Storms. Don't ask me why you Storm Striders, but if you're doing global lessons line, you go on Storm Striders. Kano Kano, Striders, Rags. You'll have a lesson up here. Let's see if we can give you another blue. And then you can go lessons. You'll have an extra Kano that you can do. Obviously, if you have like Tunic and Epots and stuff. Depending on what type of spell you get. You can also go like a lessons wildfire line, depending on what their life total is. Well, let's just keep like a lessons line, right? It decently chunks people out. And it actually can bait prevention. Because one thing I've actually noticed and why I'm actually bringing up this line is I have found I am reliant on a wildfire line less and less as the times go. Especially the lower AB my opponent has. Especially if I'm able to play like a tempo game. But that's for a whole nother topic. You're doing a lessons line. You're looking to chunk because you think you might be resource light. It's technically safe to do storm charges and respond to everything. Because like in theory, if you get like a better spell off of a blind, you can if you blind Kano, and you actually like find a wildfire, you just have combo. If you find a blazing, you can do a double blazing line. If you even find like an aether flare, you can do like a boosted flare line. I mean, there's technically a lot of stuff you can do. But let's say you go for this line, you blow your Storm Striders, you blow your Ragamuffins hat, and let's say you're on the Tunic, but you keep this, right? And let's say all up, you dealt 18 damage. This, well, obviously you would want more out of this kind of line, right? Actually, no. Let's give an even 20 because I like even numbers, even though this was an even number. So now your opponent's gonna be at 20. You just don't have for their life though. That's pretty good, right? But let's talk about what just happened afterward. So you're Kano, and let's put you at like, I don't know, 16. Dory's at 20. Dory has all of her equipment, and you have a Metacarpus node and a Crucible. You were able to find an opening. This is you taking the tower. You did your double lessons line, or you did whatever line you did, right? And you dealt half of their life, you took them down to 20. And they're only AB2, like, you still have some amount of windows. But by taking the advantage and chunking them out that hard, you actually put yourself at a disadvantage. This is what we're talking about when I talk about trading and resources, right? Cashing in something like this, right? You actually lost the trade. As weird as it sounds. You just dealt 20. You dealt half their life, and they dealt like, I don't know, like let's say like 5. You like math tells you you won that trade. But tell me, with only Metacarpus and Crucible, you had 16, your opponent 20 with AB2. You blew your arsenal, so you're just gonna have a random 4-card hand. And you lost 2 lessons. What is the likelihood you just easily win that match? Is it impossible for you to win? Absolutely not. But that game is now very, very hard for you. You gotta find some Kindles, you gotta find some potions, you gotta find a wildfire. If you can find a potion of deja vu, you're kind of cooking, but now we're starting to ask a lot of things to happen. When we didn't need to ask a lot of things to happen beforehand. But we found a window, we dealt 20, we really feel good about ourselves, but we actually put ourselves behind. What do you do from here as the Kano player? Let's use another one. Let's say you're Prism. Obviously, a lot of people know Prism. And you have your angels out here. Figment of Erudition, I can't remember her name. Sarai? Is it Figment? No, I can't remember. But you have the Droll one, and you have Rebirth, and let's even give you like Ravages here. Now, 9 times out of 10, when you're doing loop, when you're doing a Prism loop, and you have Vestige of Soul, you're gonna want a Genesis out. You're gonna want normally at least 1 ALS. If you have one in the graveyard that you can get, you can like pre-flip one of these and then flip the other one, and you'll be able to do the loop because you'll attack with this, you'll put it back on top, you'll do something, you'll attack with this, you'll draw 2, you can play your LS as long as you have blues. They'll kill it, and you'll just keep recycling it and all that stuff. And you'll slowly like chip your opponent down. This is where like Figment of Courage is like, well, Figment of War is the name. Figment of War would like go super hard in this situation if you get that to flip as well. Because then you don't even need to loop anymore. You can just start swinging like massive numbers at them. But the situation that you're in is the game's even. Like, let's say you're at like 19. Your opponent's at like 21. Let's say your opponent's, I don't know, if you Jarl. I don't know, I'm just saying Jarl. You're not really pressured to do anything. You should build up your soul. You should build up your soul. Because you only have like, let's say you only have like 3 in there right now. Build up your soul. And then just wait. Find the spot where you're guaranteed the ALS loop. But our silly Prism player finds an opening. They found a second ALS and some blues. Now there is an argument with this hand, like let's say it's ALS blue blue and then I don't know, some random yellow, right? You could in theory like pitch this blue, flip here, on your turn, pitch yellow, swing, draw 2 ALS, and do their install. But you only have 3 soul. You're gonna go down to 2 when you flip. You're gonna go down to 1 when you swing. You have like 1 turn, maybe 2 turns max, to find a Genesis or ways to put more cards in your soul. Because once you're out of soul, and they can start soul starving you, and they just hammer these things, your game's over. You're not winning that game anymore. You blew too many resources, and you didn't get anything out of it. Yeah, you did, dude. You can tell people, hey, I got ALS Loop versus Jarl for like 3 turns. Now, what if we just waited? Like, what if we waited Because a play you could do with this exact same hand instead of doing all this like dumb crap. How far can I go back? I don't want to like rewrite everything. I'm gonna have to go back a lot. Oh Jesus. Okay, hold on. Let me like recook. There's the RO. Ignore all this. Like the same things apply here. You have that ALS, and you have like the blue, yellow. So another play you could do is you could block with a yellow. Well, then your turn, play the ALS. This gives you a turn of breathing room. It's not too bad. Alternatively, you could block with a blue, play out this blue or yellow, probably the blue because you need the yellow on the pitch. So you go again, so you could threaten like you're able to do other stuff, even though we know you cannot. Alternatively, you can block here, here if it's like an aura. Like you have a good amount of options. But what if we just be patient? We're at 19. What if we just be patient? We find our Genesis, or even we find Merciful. Merciful is a little dicey because it makes it really hard to ALS loop. Kind of makes it impossible to ALS loop, really. But I've actually found you don't need to ALS loop things like your RO as much as you used to have to. But let's say we find one of those auras, we establish them, and we make them take tempo off and destroy one of the auras. Or they don't destroy them, and then we could just go to a turn with an aura out. We're at 19. Heck, I don't even care to block here, even use this to footsteps if it's like a hammer swing. And then just play something else out. Like, anything that does not lose me in the game immediately. Like I said, it'd be nice to get the ALS in the graveyard, so if we flip a 3-birth, we can just access it immediately. Now, if you have things like Pierce Reality out and like a ways to stop Phantasm, like if you have an Erudition, like Figment, Herald of Erudition, I don't mind flipping that and getting that back, but that's like a whole different thing. We have a lot of options. We don't have to just shotgun the ALS because we have our second one. Because with our 3 soul, we don't have a lot of time. Now, there are times where you do have to just go for it. But like that's when you have Tome. If you have your headpiece up, you get to draw additional card. There are scenarios where it'll work. But those are desperate scenarios where you need things to happen desperately. If you're not in that kind of situation, just be patient. Don't trade resources that are not necessary. Just because it feels good. Like, it's going to feel really good as the Kano player to deal 20. It's going to be really good as the Prison player to start your ALS loop. It's going to be really good as Azalea to just knock for Unledger every single turn. But let me ask you this. Let's actually use Azalea as an example, right? And you kept a big hand. Let's say you took like 12. You took like a big punch. And that puts you to like 15. But you have buff, 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 right in the ledger. This is going to hit for like, what? This hits like, what, 5? So it's going to be 14. So you're going to spend 14 because it's not just going to be dominated? This, in a vacuum, sounds amazing. And this, in a vacuum, is our game plan as Azalea. What about our equipment? Now, yeah, she might say, I want to get my opponent's equipment out. Well, yeah, that's what things like Drill Shot are for. That's what other stuff is for. Not taking a bunch of damage, going to 15 to do something that's almost surely going to get stuffed. And also, if this isn't against like a ninja, do they care? What if they just block with 3 cards in Arsenal? What if they block with 2 cards, play 1 cards in Arsenal? And that was a fine play anyway. Oh yeah, that requires some context from your opponent. It absolutely does. But if that kind of play is possible, you should know that's possible before you start trading all these resources. And if you can acknowledge something like that is possible, why are we going for this kind of play? Hopefully this stuff makes sense. Not going to go too long in this one because this is a topic I've covered before. This is going to be one of the first ones covered in the live stream, so if you guys are watching this live, hello, say hello to YouTube. Yep, that's going to be trading resources. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Peace. Alright. That was... Go get this co-pilot out of here. Alright. Oh, I should probably have clicked that, so now I gotta do extra editing.